And John Bow in the Tirana out of 2. Hansford and Gomersall off that second row. And really for Stephen Johnson, he can enjoy the remaining 12 laps of this race, staring down the barrel of back-to-back series wins.
Yeah, he'll want to finish the race, Matt, but it looks pretty good for him. Down to pit lane, here's Cameron.
Brad Tilley out of this race, broken axle, guys.
Oh, what a shame for that howling pacer. Not the way he wanted to end the season. As the Vodafone Porsche safety car pulls into pit lane. The rolling start, the rumble of the Painter-Dixon Touring Car Masters. Bressington, Bow. One last shot with feeling here around this 2.6-kilometre circuit. The green flag waves, down goes the pedal, and we're underway here in Newcastle.
The horsepower of the Camaro looks good. A little bit of contact, if anything, with Bow. Gomersall gets into the back of his fellow Tirana driver, who goes defensive. Johnson now looking up the inside as well. Feisty start. It's allowed Bressington to clear out in front. And they all got through that. Hansford's got dramas, the multi-spares Tirana, going slowly through turn 2 and 3.
Always be careful here as the track narrows up down the hill, but Bressington gets the lead. It's Tirana second and third. Johnson runs in 4th position. Andrew Fisher looking to end this season. It's been a tough one for the Jesus Red Falcon back there in 5th. It's Tilley, Jamie Tilley in 6th, and Hackwood, Karafalowski, King and Cameron Mason.
Isn't Jason Gomersall driving out of his skin this weekend? The big mate Tirana. Todd Hazelwood had his best ever Supercars result yesterday. Jason heavily involved in the Matt Stone Racing organisation. They also prepared this Tirana A9X. He is driving brilliantly. 3rd place and chasing John Bow. Qualified 4th. He's been consistent all weekend long. This is Stephen Johnson. 4th place is exactly where he wants to be. No risks, big reward potentially at the end of it.
So Bressington leads it through. He just wants another race win. 3rd in this year's series. And John Bow wants another trophy to the collection in that Wilson Security Tirana. Gomersall is next as lap 1 is completed. Everyone has survived the opening lap. There's still a bit of that clean-up material on the course. I might have spoke too soon then. Through the left-hander at turn number 1. But Bressington drives it up the middle of the road and Bow going away with him.
Well, the big question for me for that VDC Camaro is, can he hold on for 12 laps under sustained pressure from one of the most experienced racers now in Aussie motorsport, full stop. John Bow has been driving for so long at a very, very high level. So he's second. He's applying the pressure, and that Tirana looks really good early. The Camaro, over a longer distance, probably won't look after its tyres quite so well as the little SLR 5000 behind him. Gomersall next, then John Bow, then Stephen Johnson. This is the start.
Been impressed with all the starts this year. They really have got this nailed, this rolling start procedure. Down to turn number 1, almost a change of door handles going through 1. They all pulled it up in time to make that long uphill run through Watt Street, crossing the tram tracks. This was the view from Johnson heading down to turn number 1. Hansford ahead. A little bit of contact. Now, what happened here to Hansford on the way up the straight? It was okay here, but it was at the top of the straight.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Jerk sideways there over that bump and the elevation change on the run up Watt Street. I wonder if it's broken an axle. Might have broken an axle. Just popped going up the hill there. Slight lock up for the multi-spares car, getting turned into one, but that was fine. Didn't look like there was any contact with Gomersall. Gee, they got, it was tight, wasn't it, between Bressington and John Bow through turn 1 there, but Adam just cleared him by the time they got to the tyres.
They were really stretching the whole no contact policy to the limits then. Seagulls flying above the top of the circuit at turn number 7 as the first 4 start to pull away from the field. And John Bow, like a magnet on the back of Bressington. The White Line Transport team, how close do you like it down there at turn 9?
There might have been paint, or in this case chrome. Exchanged between Tirana to Camaro. Adam's driving very well. There's Cameron Mason. Local driver just leaving pit lane by the looks of it, heading up Watt Street towards turn 2. He's shown in 16th position. He's been so fast this weekend, but luck has not been with the young guy from Newcastle. His dad's a former champion of the series. They've got a new car coming next year. It's going to be exciting. It's great to see they're committed to the championship, and I'm sure results will flow.
In car with Johnson, screaming Ford Mustang on the back of Jason Gomersall, the 2-door A9X Tirana he debuted last year in Big Mate colours for season 2018. We'll see next year in the Kumo series. So Starting to do a lot of motor racing.
And starting to do some overtaking. Goes down the inside of Gomersal. Really nice pass. And full credit to Jason, who just waited to turn in there, saw the Mustang was coming. Good heads-up driving. He knew car 17 was going to be fast. And there is that big GTHO Falcon of Brad Tilley, who's watching on from pit lane.
And well picked as well with Ryan Hansford. Krause, it looks like a broken axle for him.
See crossing the tram tracks just on that first lap. This is the replay from outside at turn number 2 from Watt Street with Johnson. Textbook move on Jason Gomersal. Puts himself to 3rd place, while Bressington and Bow trade fastest laps. Quarter race distance. In the 4th and final race, we had the Dometic Trophy race yesterday, won by Brad Tilley. We thought it was going to go to Cameron Mason. Would have been great in front of the home crowd. And there is the multi-spares to runner Ryan Hansford. What a role reversal it was after wrapping up the ECB Super Utes earlier today, the Peters Motorsport team.
Well, it's been an up and down weekend for that entire outfit, hasn't it? So success for Peters Motorsport in the Super Utes, but they've had some damage as well. And a really strong weekend for this team in TCM right up to that point. Saw Aaron McGill and Leo Tobin having a bit of an exchange down here at the Newcastle hairpin. And Aaron, who had to borrow a replacement gearbox for that car overnight. Team worked very late to get the Ranger Ford back on track. Just running a little bit wide down the outside.
And to the applause of the fans, I remember that from last year. Everyone that had a mistake or a moment down there got a clap of the hands. I wonder what they did for Alan Bowden's day when he put on that, once again, unplanned burnout competition.
Standing ovation.
Yes, exactly. Give that guy the trophy.
Just so passionate about this. He was talking me through the continued work they're doing on that Ford Mercury Comet. It's probably, in their own words, never going to be a car that competes with these things at the front of the field, but they think they can get it up towards the top 10. It's something different. It's a different shape, a different style of car, and it's so popular with the fans for those reasons alone.
And that's just cool.
Yeah, and we're going to see some cool new cars coming into this category next year. Matt Nolte, Marcus Kanovic back with the XD Falcon. Stephen Johnson's car being constructed as we speak and should be good to go at the start of the championship. We're going to have a Ford Capri Piranha running V8-powered Capri. That's going to be very, very cool. There's even talk and whispers around of Commodore at some point in the future, so potentially a VB v-XD Falcon battle. So the evolution of this category and the popularity never stops. This is big.
A slight bit of contact at the top of turn 2 at Watt Street between Bressington and Bow.
Wow. And JB just backed out of it there. Could have forced the issue and committed down the inside at turn 3, but good racecraft between the two of them. But Adam's been taking that very shallow line defensively into turn 2 all race. Yeah. And that time it cost him because he understeered wide and opened the door for Bow to look up the inside.
There's more chrome coming off the back. Oh, he's did what he didn't practice as well. He laid down 2 big strips of rubber once again. These Hoosier tyres, the control tyre of this series, getting an absolute workout in this final race.
It's a great show. A little bit of contact. There's a black mark on the door of the 69 Camaro. Prepared out of Adelaide. Bob and Sharon Middleton put their heart and soul into this program. So Bressington was going defensive. He didn't get good drive out of turn 1. Just moving across the road there, turned the car in, understeered wide, and it opened the door for Bow. That was the contact. Big slide. Bressington then had the ideal line for the right-hander down the hill, and Bow just didn't force the issue. We talked about in race earlier today that there is a no contact rule in Painter-Dixon Touring Car Masters, though there is some leniency to that.
Second time we've seen bits and pieces coming off the cars down there at turn number 9. Down the hill we go, lap 7, down to turn 7. Order unchanged, Bressington, Bow, Johnson, Gomersal, Fisher, and Jamie Tilley having one of his best runs of the season in the Painter-Dixon Touring Car Masters. Hackwood solid again inside the top 10 with King, Karen Filosky, and Cameron Tilley in position number 10.
Jamie Tilley's doing a good job continuing the Tilley family legacy of being very good in very cool muscle cars. The 64 Ford, that was the car that was once raced by Glenn Seaton in this category. Tilley's took ownership of that car a couple of years ago. Jamie, who is the son of Brad Tilley, is driving it well. Half race distance. And this battle for the lead remains as compelling as it was at lap 1. Adam Bressington continues to hold on. The question is for how long? At what point does Bow commit when perhaps he didn't on the exit of turn 2 last time around?
More replays. Aaron McGill going through the shot.
Oh, that's not good.
Never a good sign when it's leaking out the back there of the Ranger XY GTHO. This is Cam Mason down at turn number 8. Lots of support from local businesses here in Newcastle. And did he go the whole way around? No, just snapped sideways in car number 3. It was close though.
All of his sponsors from this part of the world, and all of them just held their breath for a moment. Good to see Cam out there having a go. He's 16th last of the classified runners with Ryan Hansford, Brad Tilley out. Ben Dunn, we should mention, in the Chevy Monza, has had a terrible weekend. Started 2 of the 4 races and only finished 0, unfortunately. So spent a lot of time in pit lane in that amazing Monza. Hope to see that car back next year. Ben's a great steerer and enjoying his time in TCM if things are a little bit trying this weekend.
So into turn 11, Johnson just running a lonely race back in 3rd, but that's planned in this race. No need to do any crazy stuff in the final race. Here he is in the Team Johnson WM Waste Ford Mustang. He appeared on the scene in 2016. Dick Johnson looks on down in pit lane. A big day for this outfit going into the final race of the Virgin Australia Supercars Championship this afternoon.
And this will be enough to seal the championship. Back-to-back titles, potentially, for Stephen Johnson and the Ford Mustang. Here goes Bow this time. Bressington's run out of 1 wasn't great. It's a carbon copy of 2 laps ago. Adam gives racing room. Bow doesn't force the issue. It's good, hard, clean racing.
Very fair racing off the top there too. Bressington left the door open enough. Bow thinks about it again. This is going to be the hardest race victory for Adam Bressington ever.
I know that shot from up high there makes it look closer than it is. It sort of closes the distance, but when Bressington's sweeping across in front of the Tirana, man, it looks like there's going to be contact. They just get through.
Scary to say the least. Down the hill into turn number 10. Ford Scratchley in the distance. The Shannon Speed Cam captures them coming down the hill to turn number 11.
So yeah, Adam, Matt, gets into the hairpin turn 11 really well. Even taking that very shallow line into the corner.
That middle line, we thought he'd only do on a few occasions, but it's been pretty much every single lap of the weekend since practice for Bressington. Right on the limiter down to turn number 1. In fact, that is the biggest margin between the two. If you think half a second is a big margin. Up the hill they go. Closing stages of this race. Look at the crowd packed in either side here on the streets of Newcastle. Balconies with loads of race fans. That balcony there in particular has got about 10 more people than it did yesterday on it.
Yeah, if it was a licensed premises, it'd be way over its capacity. There's the White Line Racing team. That's Sharon Middleton right of screen. Husband Bob will be back further towards the working area of pit lane. Gets his hands dirty if he needs to. The reason they're looking so intently at the screen is because their boy's out in front. Bressington continues to hold on. The team car, Mark King, is up to 8th position, so going along nicely in the King Springs car. But Bresso's holding on in front. 2 race wins to his credit, both of them this season. Looking to make it 3. And it'll be the first time since 2015 that a Camaro wins more than 1 race in a weekend, if he can bring it home. And that little moment there helped the cause, because Bow went a little bit too hot into turn 11, had a big slide and just gave up a couple of car lengths to the race leader.
2 laps remaining in the season. Bressington and Bow, 4 seconds back to Stephen Johnson. Fastest lap of the race on lap 5 for him, 1:18.691 across the tram tracks, which will open here next year. The tram service from downtown Newcastle into Pacific Park here at the circuit precinct. Down the hill, this close this time. I think he's having a lap to cool his jets and regroup for one last attack at Adam Bressington here.
If there's anything that JB likes more than winning, it's winning on the last lap.
Yes.
And on multiple occasions he's done that, especially in the trophy race, where he often finds himself starting at the back of the field and makes a habit of just ending up in position number 1 when the checkered flag drops. It's become something of an art form. What an appropriate way to end this season of TCM racing. very hard fought throughout the course of the season. We've had 8 different race winners this year from the 30 races the series has had. That's the second most of any season of TCM, and it's been around since 2007. So hugely competitive year. There's been more drivers on the podium than any other season in the category's history. It shows how open and competitive it is, even though it's often Bow and Johnson stealing the headlines because they win most of the races.
Yeah, you wouldn't think after 13 race victories there'd be too many other winners in the series, but it's been an incredible year once again. There'll be another one in season 2019. So we start the final lap with Bressington and Bow. It's been going on for lap after lap after lap here at Newcastle, out to 7 seconds at the top of Watt Street.
And this is what this category is all about, because two quite different philosophies in getting speed out of these cars. One's a smaller, more nimble car with a little bit less horsepower and smaller capacity, but it weighs less. And then there's, oh, and look, Alan Boughton's back at it. Nolt's down at turn 11. He did this in race 2 earlier today. He's back early. More skids.
He might be still going when these two come down to turn number 11. Who's your tyres? Screaming for mercy off the back of the Mercury Comet.
You get value for your ticket down there, don't you? Seriously.
Just buy a seat there one day. Down to turn number 11 we go. And there he is, still trying to get back onto the circuit in the Century Batteries entry. Final turn coming up for Adam Bressington. He's earned this victory. He opened up the season with a win on the streets of Adelaide. He closes out the season with the final race win of season 2018. And Adam Bressington wins the final race. And Stephen Johnson collects back-to-back Paynter-Dixon Touring Car Masters Series.
Third driver to do the double in TCM. Gavin Bullis won back-to-back titles. John Bow did it. Now Stephen Johnson. So Bressington wins the battle, the war the way of Johnson. What a great result for that team, who have been battling all season long and have been near, if not quite on the money all season. But it all came together for Adam Bressington. And let's go back and have a look and unpick some incidents in the closing stages. So this is Tony Karanfilowski engaging full drift mode down at turn 1. Does he get into the tyres in his beautiful Mustang? Yes, he does. Team boss Spencer Rice is going to have to do some work in the off-season. And this is what ultimately tipped Al Boughton into a spin. It was Aaron McGill in the Ranger Ford. So unfortunate for Boughton, fortunate for the fans who get this as a result.
We can thank Aaron McGill for starting that one this time, with Alan Boughton finishing off the season in style down the bottom, as too did Adam Bressington in front of this very appreciative crowd here at Newcastle. Bressington picks up the win from Bow. Johnson finishes third and becomes back-to-back series champion. Gomersall, Andrew Fisher, Jamie Tilley, back to Hackwood, Mark King, Cam Tilley, and Jim Policina fought his way back inside the top 10 aboard that Mocom Tirana.
Big shift potentially as well in the Pro-Am results with Hansford out. It may hand that title back to Cameron Tilley. What a race, what a season in Paynter-Dixon Touring Car Masters. Let's hear from the winning team boss. Here's Cameron van der Dungen.
Dick Johnson, 2 years in a row. Congratulations to Team Johnson.
Well, you know, I suppose it's like going back to the 60s, to be quite honest, and it's a good feeling. Like, he deserves it. He works pretty hard at it, and it's just one of those things. Thank God something's coming the right way.
Just quickly as well, Bree, we've been watching you. Well, you must be so proud. He's done it. He's been sick all weekend.
He has, and he's actually given it to me too, which is not very nice, but no, it's good. And I think, you know, for the small little team that we have, it's really exciting, and now we can relax and chill out and enjoy a good break.
Well done, family Johnson. Great job, and Jill as well. Congratulations.
Cheers, mate.
Great start to the day for car 17 and the number 17, while Stephen Johnson celebrates a victory down at turn number 11. What a season. It feels like 2017 all over again. And the fans absolutely loving it. Lots of red flags being waved. Could that be the start of a big, big day for DJR Team Penske? Right down on the Newcastle logo. Had some practice on this one last year.
It's not going to help the cold, though.
No.
Might clear the sinuses, maybe.
Just for a few hours anyway. Well done. He's been a standout performer once again. More race wins than anybody. And goes into season 2018 as the season Touring Car Master Series champion. Will he try again in 2019 to do the three-peat? Congratulations to Stephen Johnson. Thank you to Richard Crowell once again. We'll see you on the streets of Adelaide in 2019. We're off to a break. Another championship on the line. It's the Dunlop Super 2 Series. Right after this,
McLaughlin is the champion.